So my name is indeed Joana Neto. I work for the EBA in the AML CFT team, so anti-money laundering, counter-terrorist financing, and I am an AML data specialist with particular focus on and expertise on technology and crypto. First of all, let me just thank you for joining me today as we delve into the fascinating world of innovation in the 21st century. And why is innovation fascinating? Well, because it has always been the catalyst for progress and propelling societies forward and reshaping industries. So, however, in the 21st century, we are witnessing paradigm shifts. They are reshaping the very fabric of our existence. So we will start by exploring the realm of Cryptonites. And Cryptonites with a K in the context of popular culture refer to fictional mineral substances. They are known for their detrimental effects on the superhero character known as Superman from DC Comics. And in the comic book lore, Kryptonite possesses radioactive properties that weaken and can even be fatal to him, to Superman. So because of that, the concept of Kryptonite has become synonymous with a weakness or vulnerability that affects an otherwise strong individual. And it extended its meaning to beyond the Superman mythology to represent a person's Achilles heel in the general use. And I think it fits perfectly the case of blockchain and crypto, as this was the perception of many regulators and supervisors during many, many years. This was because of the fact that the crypto space has witnessed several notable scandals and controversies throughout the history. And I can just name a few: Tether, ICO scams, Quadriga, there is even a Netflix documentary about it, Plus Token, there is Luna, FTX quite recently, Blockify, and then specifically related with the money laundering terrorist financing, we have several cases of sanction evasion and even the WannaCry attacks. But they served a purpose. They served as cautionary tales and underlined the importance of due diligence, of security practices, and regulatory oversight to protect participants in the crypto ecosystem. And protect is the key word here. And this is why the EBA since 2013 already published several documents highlighting the risks of such means used as digital or virtual currency going unregulated. Namely risks for business and consumers. And indeed, for over a decade, the crypto assets activities did not constitute regulated services within the scope of the European banking system, payments or electronic money laws. And risks existed, as we could see, the ones that I just mentioned, that were not addressed at the European level, including the ones of money laundering and terrorist financing, which are one of the main arguments for the creation of a regulation. As is the case of any credit or financial product, right? Is the same. But how crypto relates with the concept of metamorphosis, the next chapter in my keynote speech. So in nature, metamorphosis represents the profound transformation, a process of growth and change that leads to new forms of life. And similarly, our society is undergoing a metamorphosis as disruptive technologies reshape our industries and redefine the way that we live, work, and connect. So we must adapt, we must embrace this metamorphosis, and understanding at the same time that the innovation requires to evolve and continuously learn, but learning responsibly. And this is what MiCA represents, and that is the role of MiCA as well in some. So MiCA, the Marketing Crypto Assets Regulation, aims to establish a comprehensive regulatory framework for crypto assets, addressing issues such as the ones of investor protection, market integrity, and consumer rights. And MiCA seeks to guide and regulate the metamorphosis of the crypto space, but also the EU markets, fostering responsible innovation while ensuring a level playing field and safeguarding market participants. So it aims to provide legal certainty, most of all, and enhance the trust in the rapidly evolving world of cryptocurrencies and blockchain technology. But this metamorphosis is not complete only with MiCA. There is also the fund transfer regulation and the AML regulation, anti-money laundering regulation, that are the second pillar of this transformation and very important ones. So currently, from the point of view of money laundering tourist financing, there are no rules in the European Union allowing crypto asset transfers to be traced and provide information on the originator and beneficiary of such crypto asset transfers. So a loophole has been created, enabling the use of crypto assets to facilitate, to fund and hide the criminal activities and launder proceeds, since the illicit flows can also move easily and anonymously or pseudonymously without any geographical limitations across jurisdictions, with a better chance of course, remaining uninjured or undetected. And therefore, when it comes to the fund transfer regulation, the recast proposed by the European Commission intends to close this loophole by extending the current regime applied to the wire transfer to transfers of crypto assets. And then the AML regulation, which aim is to extend the scope of obliged entities in the area of AML, CFT, anti-money laundering, counter-terrorist financing, to a wider range of crypto assets activities. And now let's delve a bit more on the role of the DBA and our work towards MiCA and the funds transfer regulation. It's a very complex slide, but believe me, at the end it's very simple. One cannot question that the European regulations are a vital aspect of the transformative landscape. I think this is really clear for everyone. Why? Because the European Union recognized the need to foster innovation while ensuring consumer protection, stability, and ethical considerations. And throughout these regulations, what we seek is to strike a delicate balance, harnessing the potential of emerging technologies while safeguarding at the same time the interests of individuals and the society as a whole, including the business. The European Union is working then to decipher the complexities of this rapidly evolving field, at the same time that establishes frameworks for cryptocurrencies addressing security concerns and promoting the responsible innovation. So after the publication in the European Journal of the Level 1 text, which means MiCA, the Fund Transfer Regulation, MLR, and many others, because there are others which have a crypto component as well, the EBA and the European Security Markets Authority will then continue to work with the level 2 mandates. And what are level 2 mandates? Are documents, namely RTSs, technical standards, and guidelines that derive from the level 1 text. So basically, those are tasks being assigned to the European Supervisory Authority, so they can delve into certain details of the level 1 text. And in the scope of MiCA, they are 17 mandates, for instance, assigned to the EBA, others jointly assigned to the ESAs, to the European Security Authorities, and others assigned only to ESMA. We have started working on this from the MiCA side already, and in terms of consultations, these documents will be published to the industry in the beginning of the summer, so we are not far away. But the majority of the consultations will be published towards the end of the year. And then with respect to the fund transfer regulation, the EBA also has mandates. The EBA has 10 mandates that are only related with money laundering terrorist financing. And to address these mandates, the EBA did something that was very innovative. So we basically, in our governance process, we decided to create 2 technical expert groups with the industry, because we have as well with national competent authorities. But with the industry, you can see also the names published in our website, where we clarify this, who is part of these two technical expert groups. So one on crypto assets, another one on restrictive measures, because one of the mandates is very specific on restrictive measures. And then with those experts, the EBA, together with those experts and the national competent authorities, we have already actually worked on 2 documents, even though FTR is not published in the European Journal, but we have published 2 documents, and those documents are just for consultation now, but it will be very important that you provide your feedback and you respond to these consultations, because whenever the EBA has a work stream to address one of the mandates, we always publish for consultation, so you can provide your input, and we will adjust accordingly as well. So what are those two mandates? One is the extension of the money laundering to risk financing risk factor guidelines to the scope of crypto assets. And another one is to the guidelines of risk-based supervision, which existed before, but we extend the scope of supervision to crypto assets, and we provide guidance to supervisory authorities on how to address supervision in this field. And then we have 2 other consultations to be published towards the end of the year. So please, if you keep an eye on the EBA website or on social media, we will hear about them, and your input is very welcome. So I'm almost in the end of my contribution, and as we conclude this keynote, let us just reflect on the interconnectedness of these 3 themes, because crypto, metamorphosis, and EU regulations are intertwined threads that shape our journey into the future. So let's reflect a bit about this. So decentralization, cryptocurrencies, blockchain technology, Web3 have emerged as disruptive forces because they challenge traditional finance systems, and they are igniting our imaginations. They have captivated a global community of enthusiasts, of visionaries and investors who believe in the potential of these innovations for sure. But cryptos are more than just investments. They symbolize a new way of thinking, and it's a revolution in trust and in the democratization of finance. So their rise, basically, it signifies a paradigm shift in how we transact, in how we invest, and how we refine the concept of value. So they symbolize the opportunities, but also the challenges they lie ahead, and it's calling on us to embrace change, to foster innovation, and navigate this dynamic landscape, but always with wisdom, with responsibility and collaboration. For me, mainly these last 2, they are key for what is the future of blockchain, and for blockchain to blockchain and crypto to achieve its mature stage. So to conclude, my advice, and from the citizen point of view, but also from the supervisor point of view, is let us be bold in our pursuit for innovation, because that is important. Harnessing the power of crypto, but not Cryptonites. I think Cryptonites, the concept of Cryptonites, we are already past that stage. With the goal to transform industries and empower the EU markets. So let us embrace the metamorphosis, recognizing that the change in the essence of is the essence of progress, and that our ability to adapt will refine our success and the success of MiCA and the fund transfer regulation for sure. Let us reflect on the European regulations. This is very important. So we can understand the role in creating a fertile ground for innovation while upholding and our shared values and protecting the interests of all. This is the most important. The European regulations, they aim to protect business and consumers, and not go against that. I really think, honestly, from a personal perspective, I really think that together we can decipher the paradigm shifts of the 21st century, ensuring that our journey into the future is one of the enlightenment, empowering, and the positive transformation. And for me, this transformation is led for sure, is led by a cooperative approach, not only amongst regulators and supervisors themselves, but regulators, supervisors, and industry, like it was the case of our expert groups, and even our continuous interactions with the industry. So we can all learn how to best approach crypto, blockchain, and Web3 in the long term. That's all for today. Thank you very much.